Hey everybody, this is Athletes and Antiquities, and for my third card of the day, I wanted to show you guys a card from one of the first card sets ever produced in general. This is a card from 1888, and it has a really interesting story. So this is the Promenade card from the N31 Allen Ginter World's Dudes set from 1888. So Allen Ginter was a company that would put these cards in cigarette boxes, kind of like you'd see with like the T206 set, like the very famous ones that came after it. This 1881 set was the first set for them to do this. So you can see one packed in each box of 10 cigarettes. So this was really interesting because it's hard for us to grasp what the world was like in 1888. Like, the world was so different, and for these cards to have survived this long in such good condition is just so fascinating to me. So in 1888, just for historical context, France was still colonizing at the time called Indochina. Thomas Edison recently established the Edison Illuminating Company after they just invented the first light bulbs. The Wright brothers hadn't even flown yet, so there was all shipping, all travel, like all of that was sea and land. The planes hadn't even been invented. And the Statue of Liberty was just built. It was still, it wasn't green yet. It was just built, it was just shipped from France. So the world was so different back then. And because information was slow, this was a really interesting way to kind of see glimpses of culture from around the world. So in this World's Dude set, the reason why I collected it was because it's one of the best examples of it. Some of their sets are animals from around the world, like different types of birds, different types of like, I don't know, like cats and dogs, stuff like that. And it's just like a fascinating kind of aspect of life at the time. And I think World's Dudes is the best because it shows all the different different nationalities, different types of people, different sports. Like, you can see, you can read through this. I'm not gonna read all of them, but like a guy from London, a guy fishing, archery, Mexican, yachting, like tenor, boxing. They're all over the place, and it's just it's a very unique kind of conglomerate of things all in one set. This is the Promenade, and all of them, it's kind of like basically a stereotype from that culture or that sport. So for like Mexican or London, it might be some things that are very commonly associated with London or Mexico on that card. And that'd be very fascinating to get as an American or something. In 1888, you can't just Google a picture of them. It's very hard to get there. It's very hard to travel. So this was a really interesting way just to kind of see that aspect of life. And like I said, these cards are in great shape, and there's a good amount of them out there, which is surprising for how old it is, and they're really not that expensive. So if you want to pick one up, I think this one cost me like 30 or 40 bucks or so, and 30 bucks for a very interesting card from well over 100 years ago, almost 150 years ago, is just, it's a steal to me. And like, the colors are great. It's faded a little bit, but it's almost, the fade almost gives it like more character. But for its age, the reds, the yellows, the blues, they're still so vibrant, and that's something you just don't see very often. And so, yeah, like some of the cards are a little bit more expensive than this $30 one. Like the boxing one is really expensive. I think there's a baseball one. You guys can probably see better than I can. I'm not reading through it too carefully. I think there's it's like a batsman or something. I don't know, just find it interesting. So if you guys want to pick one up, definitely recommend it. It feels like you're kind of just holding a piece of history in your hand. It's a great conversation starter, a great showpiece. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. Do you guys collect anything this old? Anything that you think I should look into from this era? Because I'm trying to get into these older cards. I find them fascinating. So yeah, let me know. Thanks. Bye.